Warning, this podcast discusses paranormal activity and other topics some might find disturbing. Listener discretion is advised.
I'm drinking your daddy's vodka.
So weird.
That's another shirt right there.
With zero.
Hey, babe. I'm drinking your daddy's vodka made a water hazard.
With no context, that is so strange.
Which, if I was playing golf with your dad, would be apropos. I would probably be in the water hazard. Leave that in.
Welcome. I'm a lucky lady, everybody.
I'm glad you said it. I'm going to hold you to that belief. Tell me a story. Your lights look pretty in the background, by the way.
Don't they look good?
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get them.
So do your tits.
That's another shirt. Your lights look good, and so do your tits. We can't sell some of these.
Yes, we can.
We can't sell any of these.
Absolutely, we can. Have you not seen some of the shirts
I
that are out
have,
there?
but not from me.
I mean, there's some shirts out there that are like, suck my...
I am a paranormal sweetheart. Sweethearts don't put things like that out.
Sure they do.
Okay.
Have you got your necrofiler on?
No, I have because I can't read off of my computer because we have no internet. I have my document up so I can read my story.
Not your nymphometer?
No, I have no nymphometer. Oh my God. One of these days I need to post just like a raw episode. Like not edited so everybody can hear your shenanigans.
Just the ridiculous banter.
Because I edit out so much of it because I try to cater to my audience.
You try to keep it like PG.
I'm
trying to get you to PG-13.
Listen, my mother listens.
Titties.
She hates that word. Stop it. Golly.
This is the only place, because I can't look at her. I can't be in the same room as her.
Could you imagine
and
if she
say
was
that? Like,
standing here?
Like, no, I wouldn't say it. So, like, this is the only time I can say it that she might hear me say it, that I won't be embarrassed. So if she like confronts me, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about. That wasn't me. Ashley has some kind of AI program that made my voice sound like it was saying titties. It wasn't me, Bubby.
It was totally him. I'm just like imagining.
I seriously feel like I'm getting away with something by saying it.
But like she's literally going to listen to this.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it feels like I'm getting away with it right now. Like I know I'm not.
You know, she's going to text you.
I feel like I'm going to be in trouble.
She's going to text you. Can you imagine if my mother texts you back and just says titties?
Screenshot. We're getting that framed. Because it sends me that. I will get that screenshotted and framed.
That will hang in the office.
And I'll get your dad a copy.
Oh my God. Leave my dad out of this. Poor dad. He doesn't even listen. He doesn't even know what a podcast is.
He would love to see a screenshot of your mom saying titties.
Ew. There's so many things wrong with that statement that I can't.
He's seen them.
Ew. I've got to start this episode.
Yeah, I think it started.
Yeah, but I got to do the intro. Lord have mercy. Where did this go? This is an unhinged. This should be bonus.
This spiraled.
If I had
fast.
a Patreon, this would be a Patreon episode, but I don't have a Patreon, so this is going to be.
I don't even know what that is.
Is it
titties?
No. I guess you could probably see those on there. I don't know if they. But I think Boobies more goes to OnlyFans.
Oh, I don't have one of those accounts.
You better not.
I'm just selling my feet.
You need to do better. Okay.
I haven't monetized my feet pics.
You need to monetize your feet pics so I can buy all the purses I want.
Let's just say I do not have yet a Feet Finder account.
Yet. Oh, that will definitely be on subscription only.
I haven't been able to get a pedicure.
I have. I got one today.
I know. I haven't. And this thick side toe meat needs to get...
That is disgusting.
Needs to get shaved off.
Thick side toe meat.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking... Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't act like you don't.
Yeah, I didn't say we didn't, but we don't refer to it as thick side toe meat.
Walking around in your sandals looking all crusty heel.
My feet aren't crusty.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. You see them in the grocery store Daggum look like the Grand Canyon on somebody's hill. Better take that somewhere. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Welcome back to Ghost Gossip, the podcast where the spirits are chatty and
So am I.
so is Daniel. And where we always save a seat for the dearly departed and Daniel's horrible innuendos and where he's talking about titties. I can't say it. I wasn't allowed to say it as a child. I'm your host, Ashley.
And I'm Daniel. In rare form. Lovable, laughable, and even likable sometimes.
I don't know about that. We're going to lose people. People have already turned it off and they're like, no.
Oh, no, they're not turning this off. They're like, well, they're sucked in at this point.
No pun intended. Okay, so guys, I was supposed to record an episode with another creator tonight, but because our house like literally got struck by lightning.
Yeah, it was within like 50 feet of our house.
It was horrible. It was scary. We still don't have internet, but we have power. So we're recording an episode. Trying to... Jeremy Jolly, who is with SoCo Paranormal, he is in Colorado. I'm in South Carolina. So the time difference and are trying to get a time down. We had a time. This massive storm blew in, and we have not had internet for, over going on 48 hours. And so I'm like, I'm really trying to stick to a schedule. So what am I supposed to do? So I have asked ChatGPT to write me a ghost story.
We're going into artificial intelligence. Some people had said that's my intelligence, but I don't know that that's true. I think I have real intelligence.
You are very smart at times.
At times.
And then other times you can't find what's right in front of you. But that's not just a you thing. From what I understand, a lot of wives have that same complaint.
That doesn't mean I'm not intelligent. I'm highly intelligent.
So tell the people, when you used to see MRS before a lady's name, how did you pronounce that?
Miserous.
Miserous. It's Mrs.
Miserous.
Anyway.
MR.
No.
Miserous. And then Miss is MS or MISS.
No. MRS means Mrs. I am Mrs. My mother is Mrs. because...
So what is miserous?
Nothing. Miserous is nothing. Anyway... ChatGPT wrote us a ghost story. And
I think that's more of like where I grew up.
That is probably a good
has anything to do with my intelligence.
I don't know. I think those go hand in hand.
We need to look up the definition of intelligence.
Well, we're not doing that right now. Right now, we are going to read. I'm going to read you this ghost story.
I think it's apropos for this episode since we're dealing with artificial intelligence.
I am going to
basically
read
fake
you
intelligence.
This episode about the fake intelligence wrote the ghost story for our people so they could have something to listen to come Monday morning. Okay?
Chill.
So ChatGPT wrote us a ghost story. I'm going to read that ghost story. Daniel has not heard this.
I have not.
I haven't even read the whole thing.
So you're getting a blind react, which may be unhinged. Just
try not to cut me off.
No promises.
Tonight, we're cracking open a small town legend that's been sealed tight for over 70 years. Some ghosts whisper, some scream, and some scratch from inside the walls. So turn off your lights and lock your doors. And whatever you do, don't answer if you hear your name, because tonight's tale is one the town of Briar Hollow would rather forget. This is The Woman in the Walls. There's a little town tucked deep in the Blue Ridge Mountains called Briar Hollow. Barely on the map, not the kind of place people move to. More the kind of place they quickly disappear from. In the town stands a boarded-up Victorian house that's been abandoned for nearly 70 years. Locals call it the Holloway Place. And nobody goes near it after dark. Some won't even look directly at it in the daylight, because everyone in Briar Hollow knows the story. Well, at least part of it. Back in 1952, the Holloway family vanished. Mother, father, 2 children, no signs of a break-in, dinner still on the table. All 4 of them were gone. The house was searched from top to bottom, but not a single body was ever found. A few years later, a teenager dared to spend the night inside on a bed. He came running out at dawn, pale as paper, and sobbing uncontrollably. He never spoke again. Some say he scratched something into the floorboards upstairs before he left, something no one's been able to read since. It's like the wood itself refuses to show the truth. Then came the rumors. Whispered sightings of a woman in the upstairs window, her face half in shadows, eyes glistening with something wrong. People walking past at night swore they heard scratching in the walls, like someone trying to claw their way out. One of the local historians, Miss Lydia Harkins, tried to research the Holloways. She was a librarian and believed every mystery had a logical answer. One night, she took the original property deeds home to examine them. That night, she called her sister in hysterics, sobbing that she could hear a woman breathing behind her walls. She was found the next morning in her locked home, every wall covered in frantic scratches from the inside. The property deeds were never found. But here's the worst part. Every 5 years to the day since the Holloways disappeared, everyone else in town vanishes without a trace. And it's always someone who's gone near the house. A dare, a challenge, a stupid TikTok video. It doesn't matter. They go in, and then they're gone. Some say the woman in the walls was the mother, driven mad after someone or something took her family. Others say it wasn't the mother at all, that she was the first to go, that whatever's inside the walls took her shape to lure the rest back home. They say if you get close enough, you can hear her whisper your name through the cracks in the wood. And once she knows your name, she never forgets it. So if you're ever in Briar Hollow and you pass by the old Victorian on Sycamore Street, don't look up at the second window and don't listen for your name. And whatever you do, don't scratch back. Some houses don't want to be left alone. Some ghosts don't like to be forgotten. That is the story that ChatGPT wrote for us.
I feel like there's more.
I know. I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, there should be more.
ChatGPT, what happened, yo? It gave me chills there for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, that was good.
It was good.
But I need some backstory.
I know, but this is me trying to provide my listeners with something for today, and I thought this would be interesting. You want me to see if it would write another one?
What's funny though is while you're reading it,
you can almost see it in your head, can't you?
Well, I know that people enjoy listening to your voice.
They do. It's really weird.
So I think, that you might have a little spin-off of just reading ghost stories.
Well, I try to get people to send me ghost stories.
Their
own, so I can read them. But I am trying.
You could write them.
I know I could write them. I love to write. Let's see. Write a ghost story. All right. Let's see if it'll write us a new one. Okay. So here's another one.
So how long did that take? 3 seconds?
Oh yeah, seconds.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And just so everybody's clear, I'm asking ChatGPT. So if it's stealing somebody's work, I am so sorry. It is this app's fault.
Yeah.
I am seriously just trying to read some ghost stories that I'm asking ChatGPT. So this story is not a continuation of the woman in the walls, okay?
New story.
This is the new story.
This is a new story.
This is a new story. This is called The Last Room on the Left. So I haven't read this one at all, so I just generated it. It started with the storm.
I love a storm.
We just had a storm.
I know.
We don't have internet because of a storm.
Oh.
Ooh. So this is my first time reading this, okay?
Close to home like that lightning did.
Oh, just wait. It started with the storm, the kind of storm that feels alive, like it's hunting something. Emily had driven through sheets of rain for hours, her GPS glitching out in the back roads of Appalachia, where signal bars go to die. She was exhausted, her eyes gritty from the highway, when the glowing vacancy sign blinked through the trees. She didn't think twice. Just a small, outdated motel, half forgotten, off the main road. The woman at the front desk didn't ask for ID, just handed her a key, an old brass one, and said, "Last room on the left." As Emily rolled her suitcase across the sagging hallway carpet, she passed a mirror that made her pause. It wasn't her reflection. Not entirely. The figure in the glass was smiling. But it wasn't Emily. The room was plain, cold, stiff sheets. The air smelled faintly like mildew and something else. Iron. She should have left then.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But she didn't. That night the storm rolled closer. Thunder cracked like bone splitting and the lights flickered. Emily curled under the covers and tried to sleep. At 3:13 a.m., the doorknob jiggled. She sat up. Footsteps, slow, scraping, shuffled just outside her door until they stopped. And then a whisper, barely audible, slid under the crack of the door. "You're in my room." Emily didn't move. She barely breathed. The knob turned again, this time slowly, deliberately, but the door held, and then silence. She stayed frozen until sunrise. When she returned to the front desk to check out, the woman behind the counter was different, older, and confused. "This motel's been closed for years," she said, looking at Emily like she was a ghost herself. "We haven't had power since the fire in 1987. That whole wing." She paused. "It was condemned, especially that last room on the left." Emily didn't respond. She just slid the brass key across the counter and walked out. But as she reached her car, she saw it, just for a moment, in the backseat mirror, a figure, and it was smiling.
Oh, that's creepy.
That is creepy.
Yeah. The word usage and how well it visualizes the story is really crazy. Because it's like the word usage is so good, it's like you're watching a movie.
But I think the narrator's pretty good.
Oh, the narrator is smoking hot and has a very good, sultry reading voice that just lures you in like a siren's call.
Oh, look at you. You know what I don't understand? I have multiple people reach out to me and tell me, even our daughters. Victoria always will tell me, "I love listening to your podcast because there's something comforting in your voice."
Yeah.
Chris Ann, my friend from Texas, who is an avid listener. I think she's caught up by now. I don't know. Hey, Chris Ann. She's in Dollywood right now. I was supposed to go meet her and her husband, but then life just got crazy and I couldn't get up there. But she has told me before that she loves listening because it's comforting to her.
Makes me wonder if you could get like a little side gig of just narrating books.
I would love that. I would love that. But, I get tongue-tied. You know that. And I have mild dyslexia, so I'll start to invert some words. But
there's editing.
I know. I would love that. So reach out to me.
I mean, just like there's ghost writers.
Yeah.
I mean, there's narrators. All they do is, essentially it's...
Yeah, all they do is read.
It's voice acting, essentially. Yeah. I mean...
That one was good.
That
one was good.
It's very palpable.
Yes, and they're short, but that's good. Should I do one more? You want to do one more?
Do one more.
Let's do one more. It reminds me of George Clooney and that, it's like a meme or whatever. Him and Brad Pitt, he goes, "You want to do one more?" And Brad Pitt's like not even responding. And he goes, "We'll do one more." I think they're talking about drinks, but let's see. Write another ghost story. Yeah, that first one just feels
Write a dark.
I don't want to do dark. I got to go to sleep. I didn't sleep last night. Okay. All right. One more, guys. Because Daniel's enjoying this. You should see his face. He's adorable.
I like stories.
I do too. So I asked ChatGPT to write another ghost story, but that was a little spookier. And so I didn't use the word dark. I used spookier. So it said, absolutely, here's a spookier ghost story. One that builds with creeping dread and leaves a haunting aftertaste.
Ooh, this might be the best one yet.
Maybe. The knock that follows. They say ghosts can't hurt you. But what if one just waits? Mallory moved into the cottage in early October. Cheap rent, middle of nowhere, just how she liked it. Her landlord was an old man who never made eye contact and handed over the keys like they were cursed. "The house is quiet," he muttered, almost nervously. "Just don't answer the knocking, no matter what." She thought it was a joke.
I literally just heard knocking.
Well, don't answer it.
I literally just heard 3.
You heard 3?
Knock, knock, knock.
Do not answer it. You're not doing that? Mandy's not scratching? Where's Mandy? I heard it. Why's it gotta be the spooky story that it's gotta knock?
Did you hear it?
Yes, I heard it. I caught it. Can you knock again? I heard 3 knocks. It went doop, doop.
Yeah, it was a knocking series of 3s.
Maybe it's Mandy. Is she not in here? Oh, no, she's right there.
Yeah.
She's sleeping.
It was much too
It was...
dumb.
It sounded hollow.
Yeah.
Daniel, what is that? Daniel, what is that? Daniel, what the fuck is that?
Listen. Fireworks?
Is that fireworks? Mandy's sleeping. There's no way that's fireworks. She's sleeping.
Oh.
Guys, there's nobody in our house. All the kids
Is
are
the
gone.
dryer going?
No. Nothing's going. The air is off. The dishwasher's off. The dryer and the washer are off. And there's... Do you want to go look outside? Maybe it is fireworks, but Mandy's not freaking out. Whoa, the timing on that, man.
Oh.
So that sounds like fireworks.
That's fireworks.
But that 3 was...
Yeah. It's fireworks.
Thank God. Oh, my God. That 3...
You know when I hear something, it's like...
Oh, my God.
Because that first one was like... Doom, doom, doom.
She's not doing anything.
It's too far off. That's why it sounds like
Oh, my
like
God.
that.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Just the sequence of 3 fireworks, though, going off like that. Doom,
Doom,
doom, doom.
Yeah.
Whew.
The timing, impeccable.
Wow. She thought it was a joke. Or maybe just an old man being weird. The first night passed peacefully. The second, she heard it. Doom, doom, doom. 3 slow, deliberate knocks on the inside of her bedroom wall. She froze. She pressed her ear against the wall and nothing. Just silence, so thick that it almost hummed. She slept with the light on. Night 3, it came again. 3 knocks. Same time. 3:03 a.m. But this time from the hallway wall. Every night, the knocking moved closer and closer. By the 5th night, it was right at her bedroom door. Dum, dum, dum. Mallory finally yelled, "Who's there?" And there was silence. She opened the door, but there was nothing. But as she stepped into the hall, the lights flickered. All the picture frames on the wall, they were upside down. Every single one. That's when she started noticing the figure. Reflected in the darkened windows at night, just barely visible, it was tall, it was unmoving, and it was watching. One night, in a panic, she nailed her bedroom door shut. She stayed up with a flashlight and a cup of coffee. 3:03 a.m., but this time, there was no knock. Relief flooded her. Maybe it was over. Then she heard it inside her room. Did you do that? Did you hear it?
Doom, doom.
It came from under her bed. Mallory screamed. She bolted out of the house barefoot, never looking back. She told the police. They found no one. No prints, no signs of a break-in. But when the landlord arrived, he just sighed. "You answered," he said, "didn't you?" Mallory didn't respond. She never went back. The cottage still stands, rotting quietly in the woods. And every October, someone new moves in. And in every October, someone else runs screaming into the night, barefoot, because the knocks always come, and it always waits, just a little bit closer. That one wasn't as spooky, but the knocks threw me in the beginning.
That was creepy.
It was creepy, but then it just kind of like fell off.
Yeah, it did kind of fall off.
Come on, Mallory.
Do better, Chad.
Come on, Mallory. I like that. That was fun.
That was fun.
I bet everybody's like, what? Y'all are just talking like it's nothing happened? That's where it stopped.
Yeah.
You know, I used to write short stories.
I know.
I've started writing. I have like 3 different books that I've started and never finished because I am that type of person.
Well, use the chat beats.
No, I will not use a ChatGPT to write my book. The one book that I am going to finish, though, is the one that I started writing last year.
I'm just saying you can use it to help you. Not to write it, but it's a tool.
It is a tool, but I can see how it could be abused.
Yeah,
and if I write anything like that I put out, I want it to be authentically me, but I could definitely see where it could help kind of get past
some hurdles.
Yeah. Did y'all like that? Because that was fun, and I got a lot of goosebumps, and because I was reading these for the first time.
Yeah, it was fun. Like it was, yeah.
Ooh, like a little spooky. We have no internet. We're just kind of staring at each other.
Yeah, like campfire.
We need a campfire. Maybe there's a podcast, 2 Girls, 1 Ghost. That is the name of their podcast, okay?
Not 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
Nope.
Have you seen that?
Nope, I have not. And you have?
Yeah.
You're messed up. But
multiple times.
Daniel. But anyway, they will do like campfire recordings where some of their listeners, I don't know, they use some kind of app and their listeners will kind of like come on and they'll tell them their ghost stories, but they're actually sitting around like a campfire. They are I think they're one of my favorite paranormal podcasts. That's kind of how I got inspired to start this. And it really is, and they're spooky. They're really cool.
I remember going camping as a kid, and we would sitting around telling ghost stories. You know, as a kid, you're trying to come up with a ghost story to scare everybody, and looking back on it's probably just ridiculous, but
probably
it was just fun. You know,
it was fun. It's the environment.
We were all sitting there just trying to come up with, using your imagination to try to come up with what you think would be scary at 10, 11 years old.
I remember when we were all laying in our bedroom, we had just moved in, and we had all 3 kids in the bed, and they're like, tell us a ghost story, tell us a ghost story. And like all my ghost stories are real. And so I was telling them, and they were all just like...
giggling, freaking out.
No, they were just staring at me because they knew they were all real. Like the night, I think they're short because like true ghost encounters don't usually last a really long time, unless you live in a haunted house like we did and we had multiple encounters back to back to back. But most spirit encounters truly don't take that long. Yeah. And so like one of the ones I told them, it was right after my grandfather had passed away. I was 13 years old. It was the first death that I ever had and experienced, and I wasn't very close to him, so I was really kind of confused because I wasn't overwhelmed with sadness. I was kind of processing these feelings. Like I know that my mom is crying. I should be crying, but I'm not crying. Mm-hmm. And I was laying in bed and I was up. It was probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe even later, and I smelled him. It was like all of a sudden in my bedroom.
The brute.
It was there. It was very distinctly him. He was such a clean man. He was in the army for many years. And he was his cleanliness routine was so rigid. And he smelled so good. And I remember laying there just like processing these feelings of him no longer being there and seeing his body in the hospital just from afar, because by the time we got there, he was gone. And so we didn't really get to say goodbye, and laying there my mind was going wild. Probably my first experience with anxiety at age 13, just like laying just awake and having all those emotions flooding your brain. And then all of a sudden it's like if I had my eyes closed, I would have bet he was there because the smell was so distinct. Yeah. And then another one that I told the kids was with my other grandfather, Papa Sam, he's always with me. Always with me. He's the one that leaves me dimes everywhere. I was in my first marriage. Guys, one day I'll tell you about it. He was very abusive. And he was an alcoholic. And he would go and get wasted in bars. And I would get phone calls from people and like, you have to come get your husband. And I would go to these bars and have to drag him out, kicking and screaming because he was mad that I was there to pick him up. He's cussing me out, spitting on me. And I would drag him home like, shut the fuck up and get in the car. This was my life. I was so ashamed that this was my life. It's like another lifetime ago. To know that I put up with that. Like, you can't even look at me sideways without me being like, what, you want to go?
Let's go.
But like, that's what I lived with. Like bartenders calling me and saying you have to come get him. And I remember one night he hadn't come home. And the way my bedroom was set up in my first house, I bought my first house at 20. And I was laying in my master bedroom. My master bed was up against the windows. And in front of me to the right was a bathroom on this side of the wall. And on the left of the same wall was the door to the kitchen. And in the backyard, there was a street light. And so the kitchen had a window that the street light shined through, so I could see the street light from my bedroom if my door was open. And it's not so much the light itself. It was just the light illuminating through the window. Yeah. And so he hadn't come home that night. And I'm laying there awake, wondering, what am I doing with my life? I was raised better than this. And here I am. My husband's out, trashed somewhere. God only knows if he's in a ditch dead. What am I doing? And I was so upset and I was hyperventilating. And all of a sudden, I saw the figure of Papa Sam. And it was very distinct because he was a tall, slender man. And he had a little po' boy hat on. He always wore it cockeyed, just right sideways. And I couldn't smell him. And when the thing with Papa Sam, when he does come to us in our dreams or like that, he doesn't say anything. He'll just stand there. And in my dreams, he smiles. But here he was just a shadow and he just stood there until I stopped crying. And then he faded away. But it was almost like you're not by yourself because I felt so alone that night.
Not alone.
I'm 21 years old. Now, I remember we got married at 22. And for our honeymoon, we decided to stay home because we were broke. And I believe this was right after I had gotten married. And I think this is what it was. We had stayed home instead of doing anything for our honeymoon. And he had gone out and gotten drunk. And I was by myself on our honeymoon. And so Papa Sam appeared, like almost telling me, you're not by yourself, I'm here.
Yeah, that's a different life.
Yeah, it was a lifetime ago. Guys, I look back and I barely recognize myself from that time. It's hard to believe that was 20 years ago. Yeah, well, those are my ghost stories. Damn. And that was our therapy hour, everybody.
Yeah.
Woo.
Good times.
Jesus, take the wheel. That was good.
That was good. It's a good
little
episode.
Impromptu episode.
Yeah.
I'm not going to edit this one too hard, so Mom, I'm sorry in advance for my husband. He loves you very much.
I love you, Bubby.
He loves you. This is what I'm married to, though. The thing is, like, I joke, I always joke, like, clutch your pearls. I've been married 3 times. I was divorced twice by the age of 30, like, clutch your pearls. But the reality of it is, my life now is like 20-year-old me in that horrible abusive relationship would be in awe of 40-year-old me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
same.
Like we did it.
Same.
Yeah. And so I live this life for her because I honestly thought he would kill me.
Yeah.
And the fact that I survived and here I am and I have so much to show for it, that I didn't give up when I really thought he would kill me. And I stood up and just said, you're going to have to kill me standing up, buddy. You're not wearing me down. Look at me in my face. If you're going to kill me, do it now. I'm going to go down swinging. She'd be proud of me.
You should be proud of you.
I am proud of me.
Good.
I'm pretty awesome. Yep. Listen to my podcast. Rate my show. Love y'all so much.
Bye, y'all.
Well, no, we got to do our exit.
I know.
Y'all follow me. Just go follow me.
On
Y'all know
all the stuff.
on all this stuff. I'm not going to say it. Listen to last week's episode for all of it, or look in the description. You'll find it. Follow me. Interact with me. Send me your stories. I'd love to read them. Okay. Now we're leaving.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. And as always, we'll see you later.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
To the window, to the walls, to the ghosts get on my balls. All you ghosties crawl. Okay, got it out.
I'm going to turn your microphone off.
I got it out.
This is supposed to be a ghost story.
I know. Briarwood Hollow.
Briarwood Hollow.